hearing me, bro. They ain't hearing me. They just listening. Y'all hear my stomach growling?
Yeah,
That's cause I stay hungry.
yeah. I'm a lion in this jungle. I stay hungry, but I'm humble. I'm the chillest motherfucker on the block. I ain't trouble, motherfuckers in my way. Spitting flows from day to day, working night shifts every day. Finally broke about that cage, yeah. Got away from Meg, came right back and made some cake. Listen, I ain't here to talk about the bread that's in my bag. Money don't define me. I've been broke nowadays. I could really do without these damn materialistic things. Yeah, hop in the whip and we'll go. There's plenty of places to roam. Be the shit that we firing up like the shit that you cook on a stove. One day I'ma tour on a boat. Right now I'm the king of the coast. One day I'ma get it, I don't gotta sweat it. Go ahead and perceive it as boast. I'm confident while they arguing. Flow's dumb, incompetent. Shitty's out and I'm slaughtering like the lynch mob. I stay slaughtering. I'm here for one purpose, that's making a difference. A change for myself and the ones that I live in. Ones that relate and receiving the message. I'm praying for peace with the cards that I'm giving. I'm driven, but you cannot drive ambition. You're the backseat. See, I'd rather whip it solo and stay lonely. Tell the truth, I get my own. I stay hungry. I stay hungry for that chicks to be the best me. Best me, bitches testing, resting, bitches sleeping on my blessings. Caught your face up in my pillow, call it nesting. You know I pray we all could win, but it's depressing. Sin, it's the type of work they won't do. You say motherfuck me, but now it's motherfuck you. Blame your mama for the drama, now you're spitting flows like mildew. That's the life you wanted, homie, that's what you choose. They reciprocate that energy, so what's that mean to you? All your petty vibes and energies are coming back to you. Cause I'm sleeping on you fools, I've been on the move. Busters better move, all you busters better move. Goddamn, I come again, riding around with no new friends, riding around with no loose ends. Calm it down, no second chance, I'm heartless now that I've learned shit. You're bleeding out, that's my turn to kid. It's my turn to be selfish, it's my turn, I can't help it. It's me, myself, and I don't got no time for you and I. So go ahead and sip it slow, because with me you cannot ride. Needed me a do or die, now you're slipping one more time. Ain't no chances for these bitches, gotta kick them to the side. Cause I'm hungry, ain't no one to feed my appetite. I'm a lion in this jungle who can see the light. You know I deserve the best, gotta get it right. But it's 2 years later with the same advice.
Fuck off.
Goodbye, yeah.
Fuck out of my face.
I tried. Now it's me, myself, and I, my ambition. Bars. How was that? Cool, I didn't think I was gonna be able to like do that the whole way through without a breath, but fire. King of the jungle, everyone watching. My 5 viewers right now. We got 5.
Yo, they better come up.
Fire. Yeah. Oh, that was just a warm up, you know.
Yeah, Homemade Genius. We back in the building. I'm your boy, the Homie Toe, from your favorite rap group.
Sir, and I'm the one and only Top Notch.
And we back at it again. Second episode, one night, with the one and only
Ambition.
Ambitious
Motherfucker.
in the building.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
good with you?
You know what? I'm super happy to be here. I've had a hella long week, so this is a little bit of a unwinding for me. So I appreciate you guys having me. I'm
Hell
happy to
yeah.
be here.
Yeah, we
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
you being here.
Definitely most appreciate you being here. But yeah, we're sponsored by Cannabis Cactus and the Roach Clip team. That's the
Roach
beautiful magazine
Clip.
you see. Cannabis, they're responsible for all the beautiful graphics,
Yes,
audio,
sir.
all that
All
other
of
good
this
stuff.
beautiful
So
place
shout
that
out
we
to them.
broadcast
They're the
from.
ones that make us happen. But we are Homemade Geniuses. I'm the Homie Toe, Top Notch. We make homegrown.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you in the building.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Right. So first off, where you come from?
Man, honestly, so I've been out here in Phoenix for 3 years now. So
3 years?
I'm from San Diego, California. I don't know if y'all been there, but
Oh,
super
yeah.
proud
Oh,
to be
yeah.
from there. So it's been the past 3 years that I've been out here, and honestly, I thought I was going to hate it, but I wouldn't change it for a thing. The opportunities that I've had out here, especially with my art, because it's the desert, you know what I mean? Like, we move a little bit slower. So in Cali, I think it would have kind of maybe taken me a little bit longer, but here it's just like there's a lot of love for like local artists and stuff, you know. It's just more tight knit than
Okay.
Cali is just go, you know. So that's what I noticed being out here. I've had crazy opportunities like I wouldn't even have thought coming out here, you know what I mean?
So did it start to pop off as soon as you came out here?
I would say
last year is when it really started to happen for me. Honestly, I just started to get more confident with my music. I put out new music, and I'll be honest with you, how it started was my coworkers. My coworkers would hella fuck with me. Like, I was cool with all my coworkers. They fuck with my music. They started going to my shows. You know, one person knew someone else, and next thing, have you guys been to the Marquee in Tempe?
Yeah, we actually performed there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we
you know how
performed.
legit, like, you feel like you made it the first time you
For
performed
sure. We was
there?
Yeah,
back
that's
there.
one of
We
the-
had free wings and shit. They plugged
we,
us
we had
up.
to smoke
You know
in the
what I mean?
back. That's when we got
Yeah,
to ask
we
the
were
security guard. He said,
hey,
hey,
you
can
know
we
what?
smoke? He
Yeah.
said,
That
They
was
do- they
actually
do
one of
that
the
in-
highlights for us, you know what I mean, performing there. So
Isn't it?
because we knew actually Snoop Dogg was there like a month after us or something, so we knew we were doing something, you know what I mean, to be there.
Right. It's unforgettable, you know?
For
So,
sure. That stage, being up there is nice, you know.
absolutely. And it's broken so many walls down for me, you know,
Right.
having done that venue. That was, like, at one point my biggest venue. It's not anymore, you know? It's just been
Go ahead.
That's
up.
crazy.
So that's,
Right.
that's a blessing.
Go ahead.
I was just
That's
gonna
a
say you
blessing.
jumping heads, but so as far as
No, I love it.
you
That's why
starting
she's
like
so
okay, you
appreciate
3 years here in AZ. So how is life growing up as far as oh shit my fault. As far as in Cali, you in San Diego, you start music at what age? What you doing? How is Cali life? How's growing up life as far as ambition?
You know, it's crazy. I've always written poetry. It was just a way I would express myself for some reason. I would just take it to pen and paper ever since.
It's a good way to escape. It's a good way to put your thoughts out there.
You're right. I don't know if y'all have kids. Like I was 8 years old, and I was just, you know what I mean. For some
Shit.
reason, I would just found poetry so beautiful. I started writing it, but in terms of how I felt, and I'm like an 8-year-old, you know. So come around freshman year, I'm 14 years old. We moved like hella far from everything I knew. We moved into the mountains, and so like I got a little depressed there, you know, being a
course.
little teenager.
like,
you know?
Everybody
City-
does. Every kid would.
So like
but you know what I
city
mean?
to mountains kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
like I
okay.
was like near the beach type of shit, and then all the way to the
the
mountains. And you know, I'm a kid. I don't drive or nothing, so all my friends are like far. You know, everything
Oh,
I
yeah,
knew.
you feel like you're never gonna see them again.
Right.
See
Wow.
civilization again. You looking at the squirrels
It was
and
a
shit
small-
like.
It was a small town for real. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like that's kind of how it is out here. It's just smaller. There's more of an advantage. Like you know, if you really have what it takes and you really have that drive in you, you're gonna stand out amongst your peers who are so tight knit. You know.
For sure. Because not only is California big, but you got Hollywood and San Diego.
I
and
mean,
it's
Right.
a lot.
California is like a New York. It's a building block to anything. You can go
I mean,
from
for the
hip
West
hop.
Coast, it's a lot of
If you go to
people in
hip hop, you
California
can go to
doing
any
music.
kind of thing. In California is a
For sure.
building block. And coming from Arizona, it's always been a competitive thing. But like I said, we'll get into that. So you're in California. You move to these fucking woodlands or whatever you want to call it, right? And you're depressed. You're learning music then. You're writing then. You're checking
Was
out
it still
beats.
poetry then, or had you transitioned to music already?
So it was still poetry. I've always been a huge fan of music. Ever since I was a kid, I loved all the eras. Like, luckily, I had, you know, older tios and stuff. I listened to 80s music, like, straight up from
Shout
the
out,
people
shout
that
out,
lived in
80s.
that era.
Okay.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
I've always
I like
been
80s.
music, you know, musically inclined. But I never thought, oh, let me add my poetry and add it to a beat. You know, I really started to get into, Drake. Mac Miller, Dre, Wiz Khalifa, they were all
R.I.P.
coming
to
up about around that time
Right.
when I was 14. They were like really popping off and shit. So I just thought to myself, like, I already write something that's like an art. It's on the paper, but why not translate it more?
Right.
You know what I mean? Find other ways to translate it.
Right.
So that's kind of how it started. So I was 14. I had my own DJ business too. It was crazy.
What?
I
So-
love music.
Like
so.
off of, were you doing like real DJ, like records, or was it like
So,
off a laptop type stuff?
So it was off a laptop, but I had this Serato, so it was like an electronic. So it's like it's still the
I seen that- I
turntables.
seen
It's
that
just,
stuff.
you know what I'm saying. So I got
Newer
to get
days?
started.
Like
So
that.
you were music was still around at that point, like you were always doing something. So when you
Yeah.
decided to start doing music instead of poetry, did you find it hard to go from writing poems to like writing bars for songs?
Absolutely. You have a beat incorporated. You know, you really
But
have
you
to.
gotta ride the beat, otherwise
Exactly.
the song don't go right.
And you know, the beats we choose, we obviously we fuck with them. We think they're beautiful, and our job is to, in my opinion, like bring that out. Like
Yeah,
your
make
vocals are
something
supposed
out
to
of
add
it.
an
Exactly.
instrument
Most
to it.
definitely. As a
So-
beat maker, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
see what I'm looking at?
Yeah, but do I? Do I do that?
You do it, dog.
Hello,
You do it.
tell them. Shout
Tell
out.
him. Shout out to
Yes,
him.
I do.
Shout out to him. So that's so you now go to music as far as when's the first time you record a track? When's the first time Ambitious gets born, or then how did it even come about? What is?
Okay.
the whole name and where it comes from, and
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, to answer your first question, when I started actually recording, I was lucky or fortunate enough. My dad already had like this $100 microphone in the
I remember.
office that
Okay.
he already had something, and I always kind of messed with. I don't know if y'all are familiar with GarageBand on the iMac.
He's definitely familiar with that.
But like I would be in middle school messing around with that
Bangers.
shit, not even knowing what I was doing. So had some experience with that, and then I just knew how to record myself. Just plugged. It was a USB $100 microphone we already just had
Nice,
chilling,
nice.
fucked with one of those back in the day.
oh yeah, I remember our first $100 microphone.
and it's like everything to us, right?
Oh,
Like-
it's the greatest thing
Oh,
in the
for
world.
sure. We thought we were
It was the
fucking
greatest
balling.
thing
It was
in the
like
world.
it had like
Right.
gold around it and shit. We thought we were doing it.
So you're recording your first track. Is it real? Are you mixtaping it, or are you recording original songs at this point?
So it was just singles. Like I don't even think I knew the concept of a whole album or EP or mixtape or anything. I kind of would just started. I didn't even know what I was doing.
What was that like? Was that your ambition?
It
was to
was.
like make
I like
to,
that.
make to make like a whole album, or were you in there thinking like, I'm just happy to be in here doing this one song?
Right.
Did you have a vision that maybe I could turn this into like a career and an album and stuff like that?
Absolutely. At the moment I realized how much I love doing it, and I was so young, little to no experience, and that's the shit that kept me out of trouble. Like my homies, I'll be honest, like they would party hard, do drugs and shit like that, but like I was always losing friends because I would
Be
be
in the
focused
studio.
on doing that shit, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Or my office, it wasn't quite a studio. I did
Right.
my
Hey.
best. But you know what I
we
mean?
had some
Kurt-
Ugios
remember the
before
Kurt
too. Shout out to Joe
boys.
Peasy. He used to call it the Ugio. It wasn't even a studio because all I had was my microphone and like one of these in the closet, and we would just sit
Put it
down
on
in
the
there,
CD.
and we would rock it in there, and
Man,
I would
boy,
burn
we
the
was
CD off of the
NWA
thing.
all over.
It had a burn.
Okay.
It was real old
But we didn't
school,
go nowhere though.
We did the damn thing though. We didn't blow up like them.
It's funny though how you can just be like, oh yeah, like I know what you're talking about. Like we're artists, like
Yeah, it's
we're
real.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's
for
one of
real.
the other questions. As far as okay, now you're getting started. You record a couple of tracks. As far as the lifestyle growing up, how was it? You got into a little bit as far as you stayed away from homies and stuff. Is your lifestyle at this point difficult, family-wise, music-wise? Like, how is that going as far as when you first started doing music?
Oh, definitely. Honestly, everything's like a roller coaster. Like it's hard to explain because like when I first started doing music, I was going through some hard times with my family too, and that's what got me through it. But that's when I realized this is what the fuck I like doing. Like this shit's keeping me away from doing
Some
stupid shit. And because I'm young, I can do these things, but I found something that kept me like level-headed, and that's how I knew that's what I wanted to do. So honestly, it's been up and down throughout the years, but my music gets better because my experience,
older
my
you get,
tribulations,
For sure.
you
Right,
know.
right.
You have more shit to talk about, you know what I mean? And the shit
Right.
becomes more real. It's almost like, shout out to the last guest, Esau's, like she was saying, when she was younger making music, the music was a little crazier because she was out there doing shit, partying, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then you get a little bit older, you've been doing music longer, your songs become about more deeper things, you know what I mean? And you start talking about more real shit instead of just like, we like to party, you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah,
I
most
think a lot of
definitely.
people get that mixed up. They don't realize that just because you might have made some of them songs before, as you grow as an artist, your songs aren't always going to be about that. And as you get older, you're going to move on to, different topics and talk about
Right.
stuff that's more relative to what what you're doing now. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
exactly. That was
So
a good question though.
As being an artist, a female, all that stuff, how do you feel that, if anything, has hindered anything here doing music? What's the hard things about that?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because I didn't really identify myself like to me like a rapper is a rapper, an artist is an artist, So when people
point.
started having so much controversy, like female rappers, like started comparing, that's when I was just like, what the hell? Like I didn't even see it like that. Like I didn't even see gender-wise nothing. So then when I see, female rappers that I look up to that have commented on their struggle with being a female artist, I can see where they're definitely coming from. I just never would have looked at it that way, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like I just didn't.
That's good because I always ask that. Like I said, I've had Smear Lipstick Crew, had Esauce on here, Ash Menace, and I tend to like not only because a female thing, like I said, and I like to get into whoever really knows you as a fan wants to know you. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
Like everything.
Yeah, everything about it. So not only being female, and like I said, a lot of them talk about just power, and like I tell them when they're done answering the question, just kind of how you said it. I want to get it to a point to where I don't look at, I've never looked at a female because a female as a female artist. I just looked at them as an artist.
Yeah.
Listen to their
Right.
music, see what it is. To me, we're just artists.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's why I was
judging them
even-
the same. When you hear their
I was
music,
even
you're
telling her,
listening
when
to the
you're
bars.
so-
Like,
when
is
you're
this
so
shit dope
woman-
or is it not dope? You know what I
when
mean?
you're
Right,
so woman
exactly.
power kind of thing, I said I want to even take that away to where we're not discussing woman power. We're discussing
Right.
just straight artist to
Right.
artist kind of shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's dope that you said that.
Yeah.
I don't even
Thank
see.
you.
I've never seen it
Yeah.
like
Right.
that.
That's cool
you know
that
what
you
I mean?
saw it that way, but
Thank
was
you.
there ever a time in you doing music or coming up in your career that you felt like it was different, like you started to realize that maybe not everybody sees it the way you do?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just from experiences. I mean, we're our own business. You know, I'm sure y'all
sure.
y'all know what that is.
Right.
So, you know, I stand alone with a lot of things. You know, I do a lot of things just independently. So,
Right.
I feel like it's easy
Gotcha.
for others, especially, you know, just older people that have been in the game and know what a hungry artist looks like. I feel like I'm shark bait, you know what I mean? Like they're probably gonna want to jip me on my ticket sales, which it has happened before. Like I went out there, I hustled, we agreed on something, you know, we didn't put it on paper, but we agreed on something, and then later when I go to turn in everything, knowing how much I made, knowing how much they get, like they've tried to tell me some
The
bullshit.
shit didn't add
you,
up.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And I'm
we've
like, no,
hustled
homie,
tickets
like.
that. Well,
For
we
sure.
know.
So
For sure.
I'm sure I'm not. Females aren't the only ones that go through that, but I think in a sense like we look a little bit more vulnerable
Right.
Most
because we're
definitely,
females. And
most
then especially like I don't really have someone with me a lot of the time. I kind of just do a lot of shit alone, like I said.
For
Right.
sure, I'm
So-
sure they see you and think, you know what I mean, that
That's
they can
crazy that
somehow
you
take
expose
advantage
that.
in
That's
some
crazy
way.
that you
know
say
what I
that
mean?
as far as feeling that, because I'm telling you, I get the opposite effect. I swear to you, when I meet somebody, and especially when I first started, and I tell them I do music, they see tattoos and a Mexican, right? So they think Little Rob is coming on the microphone. You know what I mean?
For
So
sure,
they were
for
always right
sure.
away like, not are we gonna get this guy, but is this guy gonna get us? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. That's what I've always.
Right.
I'll meet anybody to this day, and the first thing they kind of tell me is like, how long have you done in jail? And I'm
almost like, yeah, how are you trying to hustle me? Like,
Right.
what's going on?
Right. So I get it as far as you saying, but it's crazy that you expose it as far as a fear, kind of like, or not a
Yeah.
fear, but like something you recognize.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's
Going
got to look
through it.
out for something, that she has to look out for. People trying to take
Yeah.
advantage.
Or you
for
feel that way, like I said, it's shark bait. Because like I said, as far as, I mean, we'll get deep into some stuff, but numbers and stuff you've been doing, I mean, as good as anybody. As
What
far
is
as
it? Let's
even
get into it. I don't know the
active-
numbers. Let's get into it. Let me know
active of anything, you know what I mean? She got the show on the 9th. That's a big show coming
That's
up,
right,
right?
yeah.
What is that?
So that's
Shout
my
that out.
EP release party.
Okay.
So my EP is called 9. It's got 9 songs in it. It's a whole lot of meaning behind it too. It's some of my best work, but then again, the best is yet to come. But I'm just so proud of this because I had to go through fucking hell to write this project. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And because for the project's sake, I wouldn't take any of it back. It was painful. It was a lot of growing pains. And I'm young, you know. I'm 23. So, but I feel like I'm going on 30 just based on.
You ain't.
No, I know the
you
feeling. I
ain't,
mean,
dog.
I'm not gonna say my age, but I feel a lot. I feel a lot older than I am too, cause I'm not even no bullshit. I've been through a lot of crazy shit in my life. I have been some, it's just been some fucked up shit. But I know what you mean. Like you feel.
No, that's
like,
dope. Yeah.
The experiences you've gone through make you older than you really are. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
cool though, cause sometimes you gain a lot of wisdom from that shit. You know what I mean? So.
Now, to me, that's what makes best music, though, as far as an artist. Not only being talented, being able to be a poet or whatever, as far as putting, like I said, a lot of people, even when I first started doing music, I remember they'd be like, oh, you do music? Let me get on the mic. And I'm like, dude, it's a lot more than just getting on
That's
the mic,
the first
bro.
thing a lot of
Right.
people say is, "Let me get in the studio with you."
And I'm
Okay,
like-
and then listen to this beat, and you write 8 bars even, and they'd be like, "Well, what's a bar?" Oh shit, we're fucked.
We're
you know what I
fucked,
mean?
dog. Fuck. Here we go. So, like I said, I get it's all that. It's crazy to see, like, as far as you even talking, like I said, saying 23, man.
It's good though.
33,
You know,
I mean,
if you
we've been through the game and back. Like when we came back to the game, it was like I said, a whole nother. Even as far as me managing, as far as getting features and other stuff, you don't even meet artists. You know what I mean? We've done
Right.
songs with some named people that I met here and there, but it's not like what it used to be. You get in the studio and write, and even here locally. You know what I mean? Like
you don't really get to build like a real friendship or relationship with that person. You know what I mean? You might pay some money to get them on the track, but you're just sending them the beat through email. They're putting their verse on it and sending it back. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
versus you paying them and they show up, you guys get in the studio together, you vibe, you write the song, it comes out dope. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
different. It's not like
totally different. So like I said, being young, it's crazy to hear you talk so, like I said, above, like I said, what you're already doing, and
Thank you.
it's crazy. It's fucking.
But
it's dope.
I admire y'all because, you know, I don't know how long y'all been in the game for, but I mean, you know, you guys are older, you have more wisdom. I can't imagine like the things. Oh, I'm good, thank you. They got me high, y'all, so I'm good on that. Lightweight.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Love it. But you know what I mean? Y'all have, I'm sure, really seen a lot of changes. You know, I've seen very few. I've been in the game 10 years. You know, started at 14, so I'm 23 now. So 10 years, but I'm sure y'all have seen a lot as well.
Well, that's what
dope,
I'm
though.
saying.
It's
Being
almost like for you to
23,
put
that's
your-
what it is, though.
but
That's
it's
what,
almost
that's
like
what I
you-
missed, though.
You
It's
put
been
your
10
9 or
years.
10 years in like at the right time though.
Because
You
when
know
I
what
was
I mean?
14, I wasn't thinking rapping
sure,
more. I
me
was
either.
I was thinking of.
We started way later.
I was thinking of causing
Okay.
trouble and getting.
That's cool though. You got to jump on the
Right.
game. You started early, so now being only 23, you know, you still have a long way to go, but you have an advantage because we started almost damn near that age. I was almost damn near 23 when we really started getting into the music and trying to perform and shit.
And we
so,
went through 5 guys going
learned
to
a
prison.
lot, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It was nuts.
So that's good.
We
You
have
got
to
a
find
hell
our
of a
footing
jump.
again here
Thank
shortly,
you.
but that's crazy. That's why I just missed as far as you speaking as, like I said, as wise as you do. Like I said, got
cool.
some good things going on. So as far
appreciate it.
as coming up now, like come to date, let's say what's one of your, before your 9th show next Friday, you know what I mean? Shout out to that. What is one of your maybe greatest moments being an artist that you got to recall, humble upon?
Oh,
Think,
man.
damn, I went from 14 to 23. I went from this
Yeah,
to
where you
that.
really felt like you were doing something. Like, what was the moment?
You know, honestly, it's crazy because everything has just been like a growing experience for me just to begin with. Getting on the stage was like my biggest fear. So the fact that like I've just all these years pushed myself to do it, because I always, like when I was younger, I would do theater just to fucking face my fear, you know what I
That's
mean? And
dope,
so
though. That's
I
I
should've
set
done theater.
myself up. I set myself up for now where like you if you guys ever get the chance to see me perform, I'm like, I could be really nervous in here, but like I look super confident, you know what I mean? And I think it makes a good show because I get into it, you know what I mean? But there's still that little,
Stage
oh man,
presence. You gotta have some stage presence. dude.
absolutely. So
Oh,
I
I'll never forget
think-
the butterfly feeling you get.
Oh god, it feels great though.
I
it
mean,
lets
it's
you know you're
crazy, it's
alive,
great,
you know
but
what I'm
it's-
saying?
It's like
Right.
there's nothing like, because we've been there where we perform marquee backstage, it's blowing in the studio or the dressing room to where at Famous Sam's and nobody there, and we had a horrible performance.
Yeah, we've
You
seen
remember
them
that?
both. We've seen them both.
So
hell yeah.
Okay.
we've been from the bottom to not the top or anything. Like I said, I'm not comparing myself to nobody in Arizona as far as until we drop what we're about to drop. But like it's crazy to hear that. Like I said, and you go through it, and so one of those greatest feelings like it's crazy. I was bringing up a story. Ask everybody that question. What's your greatest moment? And you're like that butterfly feeling that you still have, but you're so
Yeah.
cool on the outside. You know what I mean? That's
I appreciate it, man. So that's definitely one of them. I do want to mention another one. So I'm really proud of it, and that's when I realized, like, I don't know, that I've had the smallest victories where just knowing that, you know, the very few people that I have next to me were there to experience, you know, me face my fear and all that. Like, they make me feel like I made it. So I was doing this contest, my first contest ever. I think I was up against about 14 other artists here. We're
what do you mean,
competing
like a rap contest?
like a rap contest.
Okay,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
All right.
And we were competing to open for Baby Bash. He was gonna be
Okay.
in
Baby
town.
Bash.
Original songs?
Yeah,
Everybody- dope.
original song. So it's just like my first contest, and I want to win so bad. And like I just brought all my people, my coworkers, family, you know, you name it. People bring people. And man, like we won that bitch, and like they were all like screaming my name, and it was just my people. I didn't even know if it was anyone that didn't know. Like I don't know. I just knew it was my people, my close circle,
Tight.
and I felt like I made it. Like just knowing I had them there, you know, just something so
Right.
small. So I can't imagine when we take this shit, you know, when we're getting to where we get to, like it's gonna be a lot of gratitude.
Yeah, yeah. When you
know
get
what I
there,
mean?
man, make sure you
That's
come
dope.
back and, you know, just show love to
Yep.
Homemade Genius.
All of us, man.
Is that? Have you had any of that yet? Have you had any issues as far as maybe with family not liking music, relationships? How does that work?
Yeah, definitely. You know, unfortunately, this is something that if you're gonna be in a relationship, I feel like maybe in the beginning, or maybe it's good for you and it's a healthy relationship from start to finish, whatever, good for you. But it's the way I see it is sometimes like you're gonna compete with your career and with your family and your significant others. There's gonna be a competition. I mean, I'm already going through it with my family. Like I don't get to see them a lot. We're both just busy doing our own thing, you know. So they'll finally set up some dinner, and it's man, I happen to have 3 hours of studio time that time. I'm sorry, you know, like I can't tell you how many times that's happened. So it's a competition even when you're not trying to make it one. You know
Do
what I
you feel
mean?
like that's the biggest issue is like time spent?
Yeah, time spent for sure. That's what the real competition is. If we're gonna talk, you know, in terms of trying to do music and have a significant other. Like honestly, I've found myself competing a lot of the time, and maybe that just means I wasn't in the right relationship. But either way, I don't think it should be like that. I think it should flow easy. They have what they love to do. I love what I do, and we trust each other, and like that's what
And
it should
in
be.
a real
Preach it.
relationship, there should be some support there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Preach about it. Preach about it.
But yeah,
what's
I
up.
appreciate you asking that question.
No, yeah, like I like to, like
Everybody
I said,
wants
man,
to
I like
know
to dabble a little
the
into
real.
everything. I want to know. I want your people to know who you really are.
Who
you know
the
what I'm saying?
artist really is.
I'm sure
For sure.
you got plenty of followers and love by the numbers. So I just want them to hear some stuff. They're gonna be like,
Exactly.
oh.
The real shit.
For
I
real.
didn't
I
know
appreciate it.
So you're coming up. What do you think about as far as inspirations, music wise? What's inspired your music?
Absolutely. So, honestly, I love a lot of the old heads, but I'm lucky to be in the generation that I'm in with the music because I was like that early 90s, 2000 era, and then I watched it all change to where we're at right now. So I got a lot of the organic influences just growing up, and they're the reasons
like
I
the way
love
you
music
said that.
today. They're the reasons I love it today, you know.
That's kind of
So
what I meant by saying like
You're
you're
kinda organic.
I am pretty organic. but that's my boy. He likes to shout out shit for me. That's my dog. See, you threw me off again. Now I don't even remember what else.
Yeah, we're talking about her organic music, dog.
I know. What was she saying? What she say before that?
She gets it. She started from the late 90s, 2000s.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying
organic
was,
to now.
I felt like your 9 or 10 years kind of came at a good time. You know, you got
Okay.
to see some of the old school shit, but it changed to the new, and you've been doing music that whole time, so you've evolved with the times. You know what I mean?
right,
That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
Hell yeah. So inspirations, as far as like you said,
Yeah, influences.
influences. If you could name somebody, would it be you? Everybody always thinks I want to ask like, who's your favorite top 10 artist, which is cool. You know, I answered. You know, but I'm talking about anything like mom influences, pops influences, fucking.
Or maybe like who was one of the first rappers that made you like
what's
think
Missy
you
Elliott-
want to
Missy
do
Elliott
music?
was a good one they used. Dan G used a good one. He said Selena.
Selena.
Yeah.
Anything for
For real.
Selena.
Anything with Selena.
Put it in rewind.
That's real.
So like as far as
That's
you,
real.
inspiration, even maybe your style of music, like this is what I'm about or what I've learned from. It seems like a short, but 14, damn. What
Yeah, for real. So, this is kind of a hard question, just because I feel like I'm really well-rounded with my ear, like the type of music I like. I love like funk, alternative, indie, like all that stuff. So it really started with like that harder rock metal stuff. You know what I mean? Or at one point I wanted to like be a fucking rock star. I
Yeah.
never thought I was gonna do rap. I wanted to do an instrument. I wanted to sing, whatever.
Wow.
And just somehow the poetry, like I was always a fan of rap. Like I noticed, especially back then, like think about like old school T-Pain, The Game, like they make you feel like you gangsta, you know what I mean? Just what they're like how they're talking about themselves, you know what I'm saying?
to
Like,
pretend to
and
be
I
gangsta.
loved that. I loved the energy it gave me. So no,
Oh,
it's
but,
not.
Breezed by
I
that
got like
comment.
I got one of those problems. What is it called?
ADD.
Napoleon. Napoleon
that?
complex
You
is what
said
they
the-
call it. She said ADD. Damn,
Sound like I
she
gotta-
only been hanging around you like 45 minutes, dog. Damn, she just
I'm
diagnosed
playing,
your
I'm
ass.
All right. Go back to your story. I'm ADD.
It's all love.
It's all love, dog.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
That's what's up.
I'm playing full, but yeah, I appreciate you guys asking that. So like as far as influences, it's been all over. I think instruments like started it, and then the vocals come in and listening
Instruments
to
like
other-
what? Like you play something?
Like what, like
Um,
Jimi Hendrix? Were you trying to be on the guitar and shit or what?
I
Like-
did start on the guitar when I was
I
9,
feel
but
it.
I couldn't get into it, but I had a guitar. When I was 12, I realized I could play the drums. I just sat there and like taught myself. It's
We
just
got a whole
about
set
keeping the
outside.
time. Oh,
We gotta
if you don't
say
mind,
it.
I might
We'll
rock
do-
out.
We'll film a little something. We'll do
Okay.
a little clip.
Okay.
That's what's up. So
The
you
drums though.
you're doing instruments, and then you come into obviously you said poetry, and then you're mixing this all together.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. So it's, you know, I love being, I'm always influenced by others. So what a blessing it is if you can be an influencer yourself, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Because my influencers, the people that I look up to have made such a difference to me, and they don't even know who I am, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I hope I could be that as well, you know what I
Right.
mean?
That was one of the questions I was even going to ask. If you were going to leave something, I ask it to you all the time. If you leave something, if it's done, what would you want to leave behind? And I guess that would be something that you would want to leave behind if music was done. Like inspiration, is that what you're saying? You want to be inspired
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah, she
What would you
inspire
want to leave
somebody else.
I would-
when you're gone?
I would definitely say that inspiration, and honestly, like to me, it's all about the love. You know what I mean? We just like there's so much division these days. I just feel like if there was just more, there's caringness and empathy, you know what I mean? Like, just what I try to talk about in my music, and we might play one of the tracks here. Like, I really just talk about, like, you know, you just broke my fucking heart, whether you're a relationship, a person, a friend, a family member, you just fucking broke my heart, but I'm not wishing bad for you. Like, I talk about shit like that, you know. I kind of just reverse it. Like, someone would just be saying, you know, F you know, and the whole time in the song, me, like, I try to flip it and just be like, no, like, I forgive you. You broke my heart in two, but I ain't wishing bad for you, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
type of shit, so.
I can't agree to that. I
agree
say
to that
fuck
too.
you.
I wish I could be like that.
If
Damn.
I'm mad at somebody, I'm just saying.
For
just
sure.
saying. I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm
just-
not. It's hard. It's hard to be that
Oh, yeah.
forgiving, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
No, I've learned to be.
Everyday person.
I've
is
learned to
not-
be because
can't-
I've been
can't
in
just be-
depressive
can't just,
states.
you know.
So being depressed and you learn to forgive and love because
No,
when you don't
you're
want
right.
to.
That's the better way to be. I wish I could be more like that. I need to be more like that.
You.
You know,
I mean,
instead
but
of
I'm-
instead of
It's
just
discipline.
jumping straight to.
I've been
Discipline.
forgiven. I've been
Yeah.
forgiven by people. So I figured now why can't I not forgive? Because at one point I didn't forgive. I didn't
Yeah,
give a
you
fuck.
needed to be forgived a lot. So now you're taking your turn at forgiving
I
people.
forgive
goddamn it.
everybody. I forgive everybody. Hell yeah.
That's
So
what's up.
2019, last
Yeah.
of it.
What you got
I
coming?
mean, we
Well,
got
Oh,
obviously
man.
on Friday
Yeah.
EP coming through, right?
Right, so it's already
Where we
dropped.
at? Where we at? What's time? What's dates?
Yeah,
what's we
shout
doing
that
on that?
Okay, for sure. So my 9 EP release party is August 9th, 2019, starting at 9 p.m. It's
Boom.
at the Deuce in Phoenix. I don't know how far it is from here, actually, but it's a really cool venue. I'm proud of it because it's a cool, like, you walk in, it's like a warehouse, restaurant, bar type of thing, and, like, that's the kind of vibe I wanted. I didn't want so much like a hip-hop show. I'm going to have my homies, 4 or 5 of them opening up. Someone's coming from L.A., another one's a singer. Like, they're people that I fuck with, you know, personally.
Right.
So I'm
I
just
see
really
Lipstick on
happy.
there. Lipstick on
Smeared
there.
Lipstick Crew, shout out to them.
Shout
They
out
put
to
me
them.
on my first show out here, so shout out to them.
Gotta show the love
They helped
back.
me get
That's
the
what's up.
platform, you know what I mean?
So
I
that's
feel like
what's
I'm
up.
part of them. I'll do anything for those girls, you know what I'm saying? They really helped me get the confidence. I seen how confident they were, and it made me feel okay to be in my confidence, you know what I mean? And then they
Right.
put me on, so that's
That's-
what's up. Like, my first experience wasn't a bad one, and that's a blessing because not everyone can say that.
For sure.
Some people get fucked over right off the bat when they start this shit.
It makes a difference
Oh,
too.
yeah, we
you
did.
know what I
Yeah,
mean? If
he
the
got-
doors
he
are
got-
open and you keep
He got
stepping
fucked
through
over.
open
He
doors.
wrote a bunch of songs. So he started off with the group. They sent a bunch of beats that they didn't like. He wrote a bunch of songs for them. Sent them back. Well, actually, it wasn't him. It was other homies a part of the group. They took everybody off the songs but himself.
I mean, I couldn't be real upset because they still kept me on the songs, but they did.
But
take,
it was a group
they
effort.
took other people off, and then yeah, it just wasn't good.
Oh
But,
man,
you
and,
know,
it,
it
and, these are,
happens.
and these are people that they took off that are calling each other family members. You know, so
Man.
it was crazy. Music is crazy. The whole game is crazy. I mean, obviously you've been through so much, so young.
You live and you learn. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's true. That's why I wouldn't take it back. I'm sure y'all can say the same.
For sure.
It
hell
makes the
yeah.
music good.
You get smarter. You get burned a couple times on shit, but you learn from it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
nope, you won't let anybody get you like that again. You know what I mean?
For real. So can I ask y'all a question too?
What's up?
If
Yeah,
I can
flip it.
remember it. If I
do
can
it.
remember what I was about to ask you. Playing. All right. So, you know, we obviously are lovers of music. The 3 of us, you know,
Definitely.
sitting in this table here. So at one point, or was there ever a point where, like, you felt like there was something strong enough to pull you away from what you're doing or the direction you're trying to go? Like, did it succeed? I mean, obviously, you guys talking about you came back. So did you stop for a while and you came back, or?
I mean, it maybe wasn't I think going back to what you said, it was more of like a time thing, just pulling time away. Some things did happen where, like, friendship-wise, like he said, when we started, there was 5 of us in the group, and it even expanded to more than that at one point. But, you know, things happened, some crazy stuff happened, and then you stop hanging around as much. You don't get together in the studio. Shit breaks down. It ended up just being me and him that were still serious about it. You know what I mean? But other than that, like as far as right now, I think, like you said, the toughest thing is just juggling your family time, your family life, relationship-wise, whatever, versus the time you're trying to put into anything. Music, a podcast, YouTube channel, anything. You know what I mean? It becomes, like you said, a struggle to, are you putting in enough time with your family and doing the stuff you want to do, and are they okay with it? Or, you know what I mean, does it cause a problem, and how do you fix that? You know what I mean? I
Right.
think that was probably our biggest thing, was everybody had their own life. You know, when there's 6 or 7 people in a group, that's 6 or 7 different relationships or family lives that could go wrong, or anything could
Right.
happen, and that person can't show up, and then who knows how big of a part of the group they were. What did they bring to the table? You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I admire y'all for just the
Yeah, it's
little bit that I'm
crazy.
hearing. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I look at it as the same thing he said as far as the group and everything and family and all that. But I even did it as music wasn't necessarily a passion like most artists. I look at music, certainly, especially like my partner as a lyricist, right? It's just somebody born to do what they did. I kind of came into writing as an outlet and just a feeling, a real person from the real streets about some real shit, and just having to release whatever it was on there. So when I found my niche with the group and we caught a somewhat of a buzz, we're at Marquee, we're doing a bunch of little, we think we're making a little dollars hustling here and there,
Right.
and then it goes away. You know what I mean? It was one of those things, and then we come back, and the game is totally different. Auto-tunes is different. The way you record is different. Different plugins is different.
Mhm.
Everything is literally so different to where I even when I write music, I was like, I don't even know if I mean, I can't put a club banger out. I don't know how to really fucking do it. I want to write stay clean kids and don't do what I did kind of bullshit. You know what I mean?
So then what did you do when you
So then I just said, fuck it. I evolved myself, and I said to stay even relevant, like I said, to release what I did with music, because like I said, I always had a passion. I just started banging out tracks, you know what I mean?
Beats.
I started making
Right.
sounds. I started teaching myself how to play this, how to play
Garage
that.
band?
Doing whatever it was, shout out to GarageBand.
for
And
real.
now we're banging out bangers like left and right. But it's
Yeah.
crazy, like I said, as far as even asking that. So us coming from that, and then the podcast is just a blessing from the people, like I said, here.
For sure. Shout out to Tolo the
You know what I
Don
mean?
one time.
It's,
Thank
it-
everybody.
it- it's
Roast
literally,
Free
we talked
Cannabis.
about it. I was a guest on their podcast on Wednesday, and we were talking about just genuine care for people. And I tell everybody that comes on the show, like I told Ashton Menace, I told anybody from Dan G, obviously, we're looking as a podcast for likes, not necessarily, views. Not necessarily likes, dislikes, I'm looking for views. So I'm going after somebody that I know it can either get me there or, help me here, but also inspire and put them on a platform somewhere else.
Exactly.
So it's always, you know what I mean, so much
You
love
want the
that
view, but you want the person.
so
that's
much
here
love
to
that
learn,
you don't really know that
Right.
person, and they don't. And they didn't know us from anything besides good music. And they said, look, here's a whole studio to you guys. Here's the key to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You guys bring whoever the hell
Blessings.
you guys want to
Book
fucking
your
bring
guests,
on.
bring them on.
That's
And
dope.
start
Make it
going,
happen.
you know what I mean? So now I feel as a platform myself, I want to look out for anybody else that feels they
Exactly.
don't have that if I feel it. Because like I said, one day I'm going to hold you against that, you come out with that platinum plaque,
Yeah,
boy,
you better come back. We better get a fake copy somewhere up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
But
what
like
I'm
he
saying.
said, we try to put on a lot of local artists who we almost feel like we're in the same boat that we were. We wish somebody would have hit us up when we were just starting at
Right.
24
Oh, yeah.
to come on the podcast and bump our shit and
Right.
put it on YouTube and all that. But we didn't have that. There was nobody around doing that stuff. You know what I mean? So we had to just promote however we could. So we look at it like this is a dope opportunity for not only us, but for other people,
And
for
to me,
artists
like-
that are coming
Right.
up.
And like to me, like you said earlier, you said like likes. You said you like Arizona likes. It's crazy because a lot of artists. To me, it's hard. I bring it up all the time, even family wise. When I first started saying I was gonna do a podcast or even music or anything, everybody had this already. Like, sure, whatever. First episode that dropped, they're like, "Oh, can I get on your
Uh-huh.
podcast? Can I do this?"
Uh-huh.
And all of a
That's
sudden
crazy.
now it's real. You know what I mean? And no
Right.
love, family is family, and it's always love. You know what I mean? But sometimes balancing that, if you're not in a good place mentally at times, a lot of things will mess with you. So
That's
just
true.
juggling it and being able to be a part of things is always a blessing, and staying busy, and it's dope. I'm glad you came
Right.
on the show.
No, I appreciate you guys having me, and that's the beauty of the music, though, is it just, like, to me, I tell a lot of my close people this, like, you meet so many people in your life. I don't know about y'all, but, like, I've met people where it's like, I don't know what I'm good at. I'm not good at anything. I don't know, you know what I mean? So, like, that breaks my heart because I've always kind of known what the hell I wanted, you know what I mean? So we could take advantage of this, and it's our getaway. It's our reliever,
For
you know?
sure,
Some
for
people
sure.
have to turn to drugs. Some people have to turn to getting drunk and being drunk all the time, you know? But we have something solid that we believe in, and it brings people together. Like, we're not hurting anybody, you know?
For
So
sure.
it's a blessing to be doing this
Yeah.
to begin with.
Hell yeah,
Sure.
hell yeah. So we're leaving it. Let's see what's up with as far as the rest of 2019. You said you got your show on Friday the 9th. What's after that? You doing more shows? You touring? You promoting the tracks?
Yeah, honestly, I'm ready to we're going to do an after party. My barber wants to hook me up with an after party.
Shout out to him.
For
Who's
real,
the
for
barber?
real. So,
Send me the send me
He's
the
like,
address.
shout out
Shout
to
'em
him.
Shout 'em out,
yeah, so this would be Nikki the barber. It's a female, y'all,
There
and
you
she's
go.
bad as fuck. She's about to open up her own. So they got their own everything.
That is like a
Makeup,
barber or what's
eyebrows, barber, you know
That's
what I'm
tight.
saying?
Where you
lashes,
located
all
at?
Man, they're relocating actually, so I'm pretty sure it's in Glendale. So I mean,
Shout out to
Look
that.
'em
I'm
up,
from
check 'em
Glendale,
out.
dog, you know what
for
I'm
real.
Yeah, we fuck with
Shout
Glendale
out-
for sure.
Shout out my barber
She
though.
can throw a
But
fade or what?
oh fuck yeah, man,
Good
she'll
thing.
take care of you.
Some lines and shit. No,
Promise.
it's like-
Now I
What's
don't
up,
even
man?
remember what we
Stick.
was talking
I
about.
don't even. We're talking about 2019 though.
yeah, yeah. What you
the
had
winter.
coming
right.
up?
That's right. So honestly, I'm just gonna focus after this. I really just wanna push my project that I just released, the 9 songs. They mean
Yep.
so much to me. To me, they're very relatable. You listen to that shit. There's not gonna be one line in there where you're just like, damn, like you're gonna feel that shit somehow. I'm a storyteller. You know what I mean? I think that's my strength, is storytelling and being relatable. So I
like
just
that.
want to focus on pushing that. I worked so hard. It's been a year and a half. It's my 3rd project now. But there was just so much symbolism, so much things that are just so relevant to me and unique and special to me that I just it's amazing to see the response. I'm getting a lot of love. Like people I haven't talked to in years hitting me up like, bro, I listened to your
Told you.
whole.
That's fuel for
I
the
told
fire.
you.
know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I mean?
Like,
That makes
this
you want to
shit's
get in the
crazy.
studio and do
Yeah,
more
that's what
shit.
you know
Like
you're
I
doing
cry
something.
sometimes. I cry
Oh,
like
yeah.
fuck. Like we haven't talked in years, and you're sitting here like, oh, you're so proud of me, and you've been watching, and you heard the whole thing front to back, and noticed this,
That's
and
the thing
this.
about your
Like,
forgiving thing you talked about, though. You know what I mean? That's when you gotta kind of be forgiving and look at, man, I don't want
Yeah.
nothing. I told you so. Because, like I said, at one point it was there. It was like, I told you I was gonna be able to get artists like this. I
Yeah.
told you I was gonna be able to do this.
yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's relevant. But like I said, I'm not one like that. I just, hey, it drives me more to be better. And like I said, I'm not one to say I told you so. So props to you, man. Like,
That's what's up.
dealing
One
with all
thing I
that.
was thinking about though was so like that's one thing a lot of the artists say is one of the most surprising moments is like you were talking about how people that influence you, they don't even know you, they've never met you before. But like when a person comes up to you and was like, hey, I heard your song and that shit really meant
Right.
something to me because I went through that too.
Right.
That's got to be like one of the best feelings. Have you had that moment yet? Has anybody came up to you and you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, absolutely. Coming from my family that probably doesn't even like my genre of music, like they tell me, like, you know what I mean, and that just means a lot to me because that's what I
don't
want
mean
it to
I don't
be.
mean to interrupt, but what's your genre? When you say genre,
Genre.
He
Whatever.
struggles with that
Whatever.
word. I don't know how
Whatever.
many episodes on all the cameras in a row that he said genre, but it's genre. My dog.
what is it? What is your?
I would say hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it could have a really negative.
It does a little
chime
bit to
to
some
it, to
people. The
these-
connotation is
Mhm.
not the greatest, but we know what it really is. You know what I mean? When you
Right.
say hip hop, you say that because you probably don't just do rap songs or
Right.
R&B or whatever. You know what I mean? You kind of put all that together. Like that's how we feel
Definitely.
about our albums. Sometimes is I just say hip hop because if you say R&B, they think you're gonna be singing all day. If you say
Right.
rap, they
Rap.
think you can come with some hard ass rap. You're gangster. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly.
So it's like nowadays, just hip hop, bro, because
Right.
that kind of entails all of that together. You know what I mean?
I agree completely. It's
I didn't mean to
important.
answer the question and shit, but I'm
No.
just saying, like I felt,
like that
I felt
point.
what
My
you were
bad.
saying. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
No,
that's a
I
good
agreed
point.
with what you were saying.
Hell yeah, hell
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
So you drop in the 9s.
The
What's-
nines.
Did I say it right?
At the deuce, dog.
Did I
That's
say it
right.
right?
Yeah.
You
No, you said it
corrected
right.
me.
I was feeling you, like I was with you. You know what I mean? I was backing you up.
Preaching.
Jeez.
You had backup, dog.
Golly,
My
bro.
dog.
God, man. That's fucked up. Anyways, so any last shout outs you want to give some people some love?
Absolutely. Shout out Smeared Lipstick Crew. Shout out
One
Unique
time.
Divine. You know, she's the one that was like, bro, why aren't you doing a release party? Are you going to do one? Because my
Shout out
project
her.
already dropped. It was delayed so many times because life happens, and I have to
sure.
let life happen in order for me to write this shit. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
So
Makes the
Preach
music.
it.
it was delayed 3 times. So it's just, she really pushed me to be like,
She
yo,
put
just
the
do
bug
it.
in your ear to like. You should be
Right.
doing
And
one.
if someone wasn't pushing me, like maybe I would just be kind of stagnant right now. But I have my homegirls, Smeared Lipstick Crew. Shout out Esos, who was just on. She's one of them. You know what I mean? We're here to encourage each other, and that's the beauty of it. We're not competing. And that's what I love about it. That's the kind of people you gotta stick around. You know?
Right, for sure.
But I was fortunate to be, it's almost like it was like just everything was in
Right.
line. You know what I mean?
Got plugged in right away. That's cool.
Exactly.
Hell
So
yeah.
where can everybody find you at?
I was
Like
just gonna ask
social
that.
media, everything. Shout out to.
Absolutely. I'm on Instagram the most, so Ambition the Goddess, just how it sounds. You can follow me, I'll follow you right back. I don't know if I'm following you, but you should. Are
He's
you on
kinda
Instagram?
private.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was like, He runs our shit. He runs our
Okay,
fucking-
gotcha.
our group thing. He's over here looking at me crazy, like he's over here looking at me like I don't know what's going on. Like, motherfucker, you run the page. Are we? I don't know. Are we following her or what?
Y'all heard
I think
that
we follow
live.
each other. I just,
He
you know.
runs, he run the whole shit.
No, I didn't say that. Did I say the page? I didn't say the whole shit. I said the page. Motherfucker. Anyway.
Shout out to y'all. We are following each other. I
Shout
just,
out,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I have a website here. You can find everything. My YouTube, everything, ambitionthegoddess.com. But you can find me on YouTube, Ambition619. I have a good amount of videos out. Pretty solid.
do.
Just did a New York
New
video.
York, dope. I was just gonna say it.
Okay.
New York, dope.
Okay, I'll let you talk, homie. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Tell it. I'll let you tell
I
it.
do my homework.
He does. He got some notes. I ain't gonna lie. He
I
does his
know.
thing.
That's what's up. So they're following you all platforms pretty much.
All platforms,
Everything, you know
Spotify,
what I mean?
all
That's
that. You
what's
can
up.
find everything on the website. I have merch. Maybe
Oh,
we
yeah.
can collaborate. I have these little like weed jars, kind of look like this, maybe a little bit smaller. I got my logo on it with a little pack, like a little ambition tray, like little rolly tray.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that more later. That's
We
what's
will.
up.
Yeah,
That's
hold
cool.
on,
We'll have
it's
to collab on that.
exclusive.
That'd be
You-
cool.
you
Maybe
have that-
so
you have
you
that
get them
public
produced
yet?
yourself. Like, can we get like a personalized one with like our podcast?
Yeah,
and stuff like
absolutely.
that? That's
Oh
what's
yeah,
up.
absolutely. We could personalize it.
Definitely.
What's up?
And I would love to come back, y'all. Like y'all
yeah,
are
why
good,
not,
good
man?
energy, good company.
This is dope.
I feel like I'm learning. We're bouncing off each other, and that's
I
all I'm
agree.
doing right now. I'm a sponge right now. You know
gotta
what I'm
be.
Dope.
saying?
You can see it. You
It's a
can
good
see
age
it.
to be a sponge.
Yeah,
It's dope,
for
it's
real.
dope. And obviously, like I said, you don't need much advice. I mean, taking it in, doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good
Great
so far.
Thank
shit,
you.
man.
It-
Great
it's an honor
shit.
to be here. Thank
Shout
you for
out,
Keep
shout
grinding.
out.
That's
thank you
all
for
we
getting
do.
me out the house. You know what I mean?
Right. What it is, the Homemade Genius Podcast. I am the homie Toe.
HMG, top notch.
Top notch. Thank you, Cannabis Cactus, the Roach Clip Team,
Roach Clip.
Ambitious.
Shout out. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
All right,
you,
good
thank
job,
you, thank
brothers.
you.
We
Shout
out.
out.
You guys.